Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss the poem My Mother at 66, which is prescribed for the students of class 12 or HS second year. In this video we will discuss about the point of the poem. We'll discuss about the main theme of the poem, about certain uncommon words, about the meanings of certain uncommon words, and at last about the poetic devices used in the poem. First of all, we'll start with the poet of the poem. The poet of the poem is Kamala Das. She was born in Malabar, Kerala in 1934 and died in 2009. She took on the pen name Madhavi Kutti and wrote different short stories, poems in both Malayalam and English. Basically, her subject matters were women issues, feminism, orthodoxy, politics, etc. Kamala Das had a very troubled career a troubled childhood and a very disturbing married life. And that's why she turned out to be a very rebellious, non-conformist writer. And that's why she quoted many controversies in her lifetime. Next, we will start discussing about the theme of the poem, My Mother at 66. Before we start discussing about the theme of the poem, let's discuss about the title of the poem. The title of the poem is very suggestive. The title itself tells us that the poem is about the poet's mother. Yes, and actually the poem is about the poet's aging mother, her relationship with her mother, and her concern for her old mother. One day the poet went to her parents' house or mother's house to meet her mother. One Friday morning, she was returning from her mother's house to Cochin Airport along with her mother in a car. In the midway during their journey, she looks at her mother and sees that her mother has dozed off. Her mother has fallen asleep. Doze means to fall into a light sleep. Her mother has fallen asleep and her mouth was wide open. The poet sees that her mother's face has turned pale and very faded. In fact, looks very lifeless. The poet here compares her mother's face to a dead body. She uses the word corpse. Her mother's face was, corpse means dead body. Dead body of an animal, of a human being is corpse. So she says that the way a dead body turns very pale, very faded, similarly her mother's face also looked very faded, very pale. So the poet was very pained, very sad. So in order to drive away our painful thought, she looks outside and sees a very bright, very happy picture of sprinting trees and happy children. What she sees? She sees sprinting trees and merry children. In fact, the poet weaves two beautiful images to draw a contrast. She sees that young trees were sprinting as their car moves ahead. Sprinting means to run fast. So as their car moves ahead, young trees are also running backwards very fast. This image creates a contrast. Whereas the trees are young, poet's mother is very old. Trees are full of life, poet's mother is lifeless. Again, the poet draws another beautiful picture of merry children spilling out of their house. She uses the word spill out. Spilling out means they were coming out of their house in large numbers happily. So again we see a bright picture, very happy picture, whereas the poet's mother is on her death, on the verge of her death. She is at the fag end of her life, which indicates sadness. So these are the two pictures the poet draws. The poet then, she arrives at the airport. As she has to board the plane. So what she has to do is that she has to go through security check. After the completion of security check, she stands 2 yards away. 2 yards means 3 feet. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So she was about 6 feet away from her mother. And again she looks, her eyes fall on her mother. And what she sees is that her mother's face was wan. Her mother's face looked wan and pale, faded. Wan means colorless and pale means faded. So her mother's face looked very colorless and pale like a late winter's moon. So again the poet compares her mother's face to a late winter moon. In winter, the moon loses her shine, the moon loses her brightness because of the presence of mist, because of the presence of fog. Fog and mist overshadow the moon, and as a result, the moon loses her luster. Similarly, the poet's mother, she has also reached her old age, and she has lost her youth. And she has lost her, as she has lost her youth, she has also lost the brightness in her face, she has lost the charm in her face, and she is very faded, very colorless. The poet now realizes that her mother is at the fag end of her life. Her days are numbered, and this feeling, this realization brings back her old familiar ache. Ache means pain. S-E-H-E, ache means pain. Old familiar ache comes back to her, to the poet. In her childhood, the poet was haunted by the fear of losing her mother. That same fear of losing her mother comes back to her. And she becomes very sad, very dejected. But the poet puts on a happy face. She does not show her inner feelings. She deliberately suppresses her feeling of pain and sadness, and she happily bids farewell to her mother and says that she would see her again. So this is a deliberate ploy or intentional ploy on the part of the poet to suppress her inner feelings and to put on a happy face. So this is all about the poem. Now we will discuss about the poetic devices in the poem. The poet uses a number of poetic devices in this poem, and these poetic devices are simile, or then personification, images. Now here the poet uses two similes. First of all, before discussing this, let us understand what are similes. Similes are poetic devices which are used to draw comparison between two dissimilar things. And this comparison is made explicit, that is clear, by the use of the words like like, like, or as. So first she says that her mother's face was like a corpse. So here, poet's mother's face and corpse, these are two different things. They are compared. And this comparison is made clear or explicit by the use of the word alike. So this is an example of simile used in the poem. The poet uses another simile in this poem. And that simile is that she compares her mother's face to late winter's moon. So here there is a comparison between poet's mother's face and moon. And this comparison is made clear by the use of the word as. So these are the two examples of similes. Again, the poet uses personification. Personification is a figure of speech in which human attribute is given to an inanimate object. Here the inanimate object is tree. Trees cannot run, but trees cannot move. Normally trees cannot run, cannot move. But here the poet says sprinting trees, sprinting young trees. So that attribute of running or movement is given to inanimate object trees. So that is an example of personification. And then the poet uses two images, the images of sprinting trees and the images of many children. So that's what we learned about the use of poetic devices in the poem. And lastly, I need to say that this poem, if we closely look at the poem, we find that this poem is written in one sentence, only one sentence, though punctuated by commas, but it is one sentence. And this poem has no rhyming scheme. Modern poets usually they don't follow rhyming schemes. They don't use rhyming schemes. So it is written in verse libra or free verse. We can say free verse or verse libra. So if you are asked about the rhyming scheme, you can say this is written in free verse or verse libra. That's all about the poem. If you have any queries, questions, you can post your comments. Thank you very much.